Well, hello and welcome. It's always wonderful that we've got so many people enjoying the many and varied interviews we bring you on our Melbourne Catholic website. My name is Shane Healy, and I'm delighted today to have Professor Pilar Vigil all the way from Chile. She's the director of the Reproductive Health Research Institute, but also a professor at the Catholic University in Chile. And Pilar, welcome to beautiful Melbourne on a sunny day.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. It's such a lovely day.
And you have been part of the Fertility Conference held here in Melbourne. You were one of the keynote speakers. What was your main message at the conference?
Well, my main message is that we have to take care of women. We have to look at women themselves and to care about ovulation, for example. Because you know that doctors usually have focused on bleeding patterns.
Yes.
But bleeding patterns are not the important part of the women's health sign. So one of the main messages we want to give women is that their ovulation is a sign of health during their reproductive years. So women can learn how to know when they're ovulating. So this is something very important for women and for healthcare providers.
One of the things that you said to me in the notes that you sent through, and this astounded me, was that only 3% of women around the world know what their cycle is telling them.
Yes.
That's an extraordinary statistic.
It's incredible. You see, we think that our women know how to read. Most women in many countries know how to read, but they don't know how to read themselves.
So this isn't a first, second, third world problem.
Oh,
this
no.
is right across the world.
Yes, no, this is a worldwide issue. Not more than 3% of women around the world know how to read themselves.
So tell me then the benefit of women reading things more accurately.
Well, there are a lot of things that can, for example, be prevented. When a woman learns how to diagnose her ovulation,
Yes.
to learn to read herself, she may, for example, be aware of some health issues that may be happening to her. Let's say when a health problem starts, bleeding patterns usually change.
Yes.
But they change because ovulation doesn't occur appropriately.
I see.
So when a woman learns how to identify this, she will be able to diagnose a health issue. What kind of health issues? She may be having some, for example, thyroid problem,
Yeah.
which are very common problems in women. She may be having some metabolic issue going in her, for example, insulin resistance. And we will be preventing a diabetes later on in her life.
Okay, yes.
So ovulation is going to be disturbed when there's an insulin resistance in a woman. And so she may be aware of this and do something about it.
So the literature is telling me, and I hope I'm reading this correctly, that this modern push toward assisted reproductive technologies may not all be positive. So explain that to us.
Well, because you know that assisted reproductive technologies are based on women and men, on couples that are trying to achieve a pregnancy.
Yes.
But here we're speaking about all women. We mustn't look at women just in terms of reproduction.
I see.
Some women are willing to get pregnant, but there are many women around the world that also need to be taken care of.
Yes.
So first thing, of course, so this is something for every woman during all her life, because a woman is going to change depending upon the lifetime she's living.
Yep.
It's different to look at an adolescent, where there are women in her 30s, or a woman that's entering her menopausal period.
Yes.
You see, they all have to learn their special signs. Now, some women are going to be willing to achieve a pregnancy.
Right.
For those women, this is also very important knowledge to acquire. Why? Because they may be having an ovulatory disorder,
Yes.
which is a very common cause of not being able to get pregnant. So if they are able to identify it, they can be treated and they will achieve a pregnancy.
So restorative reproductive medicine.
Yeah.
Tell us a little of that.
Well, it's based on trying to restore the person's health, but in a holistic way.
Ah, yes.
You see, not to look at the person just from a particular point of view, but to think in the person as a whole. So if something is happening, if we have a symptom, and for example, that symptom may be not getting pregnant,
Yes.
but that symptom may also be a little bit of acne in her face,
Yeah.
or that symptom may be a little bit more of hair, or that symptom may be that she's feeling very tired. And so you must look at the person and see what is happening to her and be able to restore the physiological balance of her hormones. Our endocrine system is a wonderful system, and it manages many of our functions. So we have to try to balance it. And this is about restorative medicine, balancing the person's own physiology, let's put it that way. We always say something. A little bit of salt is not that good, but if you put too much salt into a food, it won't taste well.
I agree.
Well, hormones are a little bit the same.
Okay.
If you have too many hormones of any kind, that's not going to be good for you.
I see.
But if you don't have it, that's not good either. You have to have the right amount of hormones, just like salt in the food.
A good
Too
analogy.
much or too little won't make it. So we need to restore the balance. You see, we need to learn this.
So is restorative reproductive medicine a new concept, or has it been around for a long time?
Well, it's been around. Let's say this is what people have always tried to have. The thing is, how do we get to it? And this is what we have to think about. Because we can get to it like doing things that are not the appropriate things for someone, or we can try to restore the balance.
Yes.
For us, it is a concept of balance. And let me tell you something, Shane.
Yes.
For men, it's the same thing.
Is that right?
Yes.
Not too many hormones.
Not too many or not too little. You see, men need to know their own science as well.
And so I'm assuming men are like women. We haven't got much idea.
Right.
Are we down at 3% or even below?
Yeah, right. Well, you know 1%.
Yeah, okay.
You see, if women, we 3% of women know how to rid themselves.
Yes.
Only 1% of men know how to do it.
I'm
So-
sadly in the 99.
Right. Well,
Probably
but
no
you can
surprise.
always get to the other
Yes.
side.
Now, the National Fertility Conference, a big event. You joined a number of high-profile speakers. Does this happen annually, or is it just every now and again that this conference takes place?
Well, it takes place annually.
Yes.
So it's a very good initiative here, especially in Australia, where different people, for example, that learn different methods, get together. So it's a great initiative. And you know that Australians are leaders in all that's related with fertility issues.
That's fantastic.
Yes, it's fantastic.
And I didn't realise that, but I had a look through the program and the varied speakers. And what would you say the conference most achieves?
Well, I think that it achieves putting us together. You see, putting different people with different knowledge together.
Yes, yes.
People from different countries and people from different parts in Australia together, so we can look to the future and see what we need to do. Because we really, and this is so important to make people know what they need to know. You see, because if you don't know what you need to know, then you will never learn it.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right, you don't
It's
know
a
what
great
you
saying.
don't. It's a great saying, yes.
Now, there's a lot of women and men in their thousands, in their tens of thousands, who'll be seeing you today on our Melbourne Catholic website. They can watch all the way from Chile if they would like to.
That would be great.
What's your last final message to them?
My final message is try to get someone who teaches you how to learn to read yourself. Because people, we are great and we really are looking for these things. So don't stop looking for it. If you have a problem, let's say a little bit of acne, if you're feeling a little bit of tired, if you have a little bit more hair than the one you need, if you think that you've gained weight in the last years and you think that there is something happening with you, look for it and go to someone that will be able to teach you how to read yourself. Don't stop. Go on.
That was wonderful,
And
Professor
the other
Pilar.
thing, to remember that our ovulation is a sign of health.
Ovulation is a
It's
sign of health. I'll let my wife know that tonight.
Great.
And it was lovely to chat to you. And again, welcome to beautiful Melbourne.
Thank you very much. It's been lovely to be with you.
Professor Pilar Vigil, all the way from Santiago.